Are you able to see the screen?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So session 2 starts from this point, and you are visualizing the slides. What is the session 2? Just let me know what is the title you can see from here.
Research report documentation, sir.
Research report documentation.
Okay. Towards research oblique report documentation. And our key focus is report documentation. So my dear student, welcome to the second session on report documentation. And we are going to discuss on the quality documentation or how to document a well-drafted, well-crafted report. And here I would like to start the point. Before we go to this part, let me talk about the mechanics of writing and writing styles. Let us talk about that, the writing styles or the mechanics of writing. I wish to share over here. There are multiple writing style that one should be aware while entering into the writing forum. Here, as the title says, that writing styles. And the first point is talking about my ways are highways. That's you only know right now. What are the my ways are highways? Means you normally pick the pen and start writing the way you wish to write. But that is never a good idea of documenting your research work or documenting your report. Here I would like to give you an example of this writing style. We have discussed in earlier classes the example of 7 blind person describing an elephant in the different context. And here I wish to say that there is a story taking its origin from Jain religion and Jain philosophy. What is that? That once 7 blind persons are said to describe an elephant. And what they started doing, one of the blind persons touched the back of the elephant and described it that elephant is like a wall. One of the person is touching the leg of the elephant and describing that elephant is like a pillar. Other one is touching the tail of the elephant and telling that elephant is like a broom. Another one touches the trunk of the elephant and telling that elephant is like a python. So you will realize that there are multiple interpretation of the elephant. Similarly, an untrained fellow will start documenting what he feels right. He will start using a lot many adjectives. He will be carried out by the, by the emotional flow. He maybe starting writing like, apathetic writing, antipathetic writing, or sympathetic writing. But end of the day, a person who is professionally trained will not, adopt any one of that type of writing. Rather, he will try to develop the balance overview and he will try to be as objective as possible. So here comes that problem of my ways are highways, means it will never be give you an objective method, an objective approach. So let us come to the certain other writing methods. My ways are highways, never a good method of writing, report writing or research writing. Rather, you may adopt it for story, developing stories, writing speeches, or blah blah blah. But that too for personal purposes or personal talks, writing blogs, etc., etc. So on and so forth. Coming to the second type of writing, that is the subjective expression. Subjective expression, I need not to teach you. You all are well aware where the dominance and predominance of, first person pronoun is in the writing. I, my, me, we, our, us. So subjective expressions can be good for personal writing, but it may never turn up as the very good option for professional writing. Then there comes the objective language that we practiced in our last session. Becoming objective, the very first grammatical requirement is that you will avoid using first person pronoun. Rather, you will try to develop a writing in third person. Clear? And then you will try to be as objective and try to do justice with the topic. Do you think that being objective is so easy? It's a very tough job, and you might have realized the challenges while giving your introduction in third person. And when it comes to writing, you need a rigorous practice because developing one paragraph on writing. Suppose that you are sitting in the room, any one of you, with a blower running over there. Can you speak 5 sentences on a blower? Anyone who is sitting in the room with a room heater or a blower, you need to speak 5 sentences on room heater or a blower. Describe your room heater or a blower in the objective manner. Who would love to? That you are using over there at your end. कोई बच्चा ऐसा है जो रूम हीटर या ब्लोअर यूज कर रहा है, उसको मैंने एक टॉपिक दिया कि 5 ऑब्जेक्टिव सेंटेंसेस आप बनाएं. एनीवन? अभी जो बच्चा यूज कर रहा है प्रैक्टिकली, बोलिए. Can you speak 5 sentences on the village where you are sitting right now? Objectively, no subjective expression should be added. Anyone may try. Can you speak 5 sentences on the house or your home? Clear? Using 5 sentences. Can you speak 5 sentences on your district in which you belong to? Objectively. Anyone? Describe Gorakhpur as a religious city. Anybody, any participant? 5 sentences. Describe Gorakhpur as a religious city in 5 sentences. What is subjective expression? That way, when you start telling that I live in Gorakhpur, Gorakhpur is my home district. I love Nauka Bihar. I like it very much. What is that? Subjective expression. When you are objective, Gorakhpur is a city known for the worshippers of Lord Shiva. One of the India's oldest press is in the heart of city that is known as Gita Press, Gorakhpur. There is a very popular temple of Nath Sampradaya where Gorakhnath temple is there. It's a prime center for Nath Sampradaya. City of, Kushinagar is quite near to Gorakhpur and in its neighboring vicinity. Gorakhpur is having a very good medical college and AIMS, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, started offering its services very recently. The platform of this city, railway platform of this city, is considered to be the longest platform of the world. The people of this city, primarily they speak Bhojpuri. It is quite adjacent to, it is located quite close to Nepal. Then there will be other facilities and challenges. So that may be the objective language. Let us talk about the inductive logic. When the term inductive logic is used, it means your logic or the logical development of thoughts and ideas should begin from particular and move towards the general. When I say being particular and general, you can also describe in general terminology that inductive logic begins with part and end up as the whole. So this is the inductive logic. Then there comes deductive logic as well. Let us talk about certain examples of inductive logic. Suppose that you started talking about the COVID problem. So will you please tell me something about COVID problem, from where it started? From where this COVID problem started? Anyone?
China.
China. Very good. In China, from where?
Wuhan city.
Wuhan city.
Wuhan city.
In Wuhan city, from where? In Wuhan city, from where? There are two places located in China. One is said by US and the other one is said by Chinese. What is the Chinese version? That COVID started from fish market, Wuhan. What is the US version?
Sir, American laboratories.
Yes, COVID started from virological laboratory
Yes, sir.
of Wuhan. But see, the discussion that we talked about, it is in the deductive logic method, not inductive. Why? It's a journey from whole to the part. You took China as a country, then Wuhan as a point of that country. And inside Wuhan, you talked about fish market, either a fish market or the virological laboratory. You got the point? So you realize that deductive is what? From general to particular. It's a journey from general to particular, from whole to the part. This discussion went into the deductive logic. But when you start reverse way talking, that in the month of December 2019, in the month of December 2019, a virus is spread from a particular laboratory. Some said it is spread from a particular laboratory, and the other one said that this virus started spreading from fish market. The government of China maintained the view that coronavirus that started spreading from fish market, it originated from there. And the other one maintained the view like the investigating agencies maintained the view that it originated from the virological laboratory of China, of Wuhan, located in China. This Chinese virus started spreading all around, and within next few months it is spread to France, where the movement people started having a sentimental attachment to their Chinese fellow humans, and they started following a movement, Haga Chinese. Then, because of that, COVID is spread out in France and certain other countries. It haunted United States of America like anything, and by the month of March 2020, COVID hit the coastal areas of Southeast Asia, as well as many planes were stopped. It caused a kind of reverse globalization, and people started running away from a place to place and a rush towards a journey back home. COVID keep spreading. By the month of April and May, it took the whole world into its grip, and it caused severe damage to life of the people. And not only that, in terms of professional scenario, people started losing their jobs, accommodation. So it took the shape of pandemic, and which the second wave of this pandemic, which was haunted by the next hybrid of that, and the another hybrid is also in, like that was the Delta version of COVID, and then currently in 2022, the whole world is facing Omicron wave, another hybrid of the same. Clear? People are expecting that Delta Cron will be the third phase of, this COVID. First is Delta, second one is Omicron, and pre-final one will be Delta Cron. So that third wave is also expected, but some of them are maintaining the idea that this pandemic is towards endemic. It may finish after a few more months. So let us talk about that. We started from the Wuhan laboratory, and we started from the Wuhan fish market, and we discussed the spread and the massive sudden outbreak of this virus ranging from China and haunting the complete humanity. अब आप ये देखेंगे कि ये जो जर्नी है एक क्वाइट वुहान फिश मार्केट से या वुहान वीरोलॉजिकल लेबोरेटरी से शुरू हुई और इसने एंड कहाँ हुआ इट एंडेड अप इन यू नो the dialogue of whole humanity. So you will realize that this is the method of inductive logic. Part C, full stop. Inductive logic क्या है? It travels in the reversible manner, and deductive logic took the journey of, you know, whole to part. इसी का रिवर्स है, inductive का रिवर्स, whole to part. That you started up when we started talking that from where COVID started. Someone of you said China. Then again I asked the question that in China where someone of you said Wuhan. And by the time we started talking about that inside Wuhan from where someone of you said fish market and the other one said virological laboratory. So that way you can see which one till now we have discussed certain writing mechanism, mechanic writing styles. You may ask a question that which one is the best way of writing. So deductive logic is the best method of scientific writing, technical writing, and scientific and technical writing. For research writing, deductive logic is best method. But in technology itself, अब आप लोगों को एक मैं बताता हूं कि ऐसा नहीं कि इंडक्टिव लॉजिक का कोई इंपॉर्टेंस ही नहीं. सपोज करो कि आपके पास कार है, उसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम आ गई, और यू आर कंप्यूटर साइंस स्टूडेंट, योर कंप्यूटर इज हैविंग सर्टेन प्रॉब्लम. तो क्या होगा? बीइंग प्रोफेशनली ट्रेन्ड, आप कंप्यूटर के मॉनिटर को चेक करेंगे, कंप्यूटर के कीबोर्ड को चेक करेंगे, उसके यूपीएस को चेक करेंगे पावर सप्लाई के लिए, सीपीयू को चेक करेंगे, एंड दिस इज द डिडक्टिव मेथड. पूरे यू आर नॉट लुकिंग कंप्यूटर एज ए होल, रादर यू आर ब्रेकिंग इट इनटू द स्मॉल स्मॉल पार्ट्स, और उसके एक एक पार्ट से होते होते यू विल आइडेंटिफाई द प्रॉब्लम. जब आपने पाया कि कोई छोटी प्रॉब्लम है, देन व्हाट विल यू डू? चाहे मान लो कंप्यूटर में वायरस ही आपने डायग्नोस किया, आफ्टर दैट व्हाट विल यू डू? You will start reassembling the computer. You will start restructuring the software after running the antivirus. You will start restarting the system. So after identifying the problem, for identification of the problem, deductive logic is good. Then for while assembling, you are using inductive logic. जब आप उसको जोड़ जोड़ के पूरा कंप्यूटर को स्क्रीन और मॉनिटर बारी बारी से सब कुछ जो है सीपीयू यूपीएस चेक कर रहे हैं, तो वो क्या है? दैट इज द इंडक्टिव लॉजिक. आई थिंक नाउ आई एम एबल टू जस्टिफाई इंडक्टिव एंड डिडक्टिव लॉजिक. यू हैव एनी क्वेरी टिल नाउ? डू यू हैव, डियर स्टूडेंट्स, एनी क्वेरी टिल नाउ? नाउ लेट अस मूव.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
So please give the example of deductive logic. I'm
Deductive
not
logic. Okay. Suppose that your bike has started creating certain problem. बाइक में आपके प्रॉब्लम आ गई, तो बाइक को आप लेके मैकेनिक के पास जाएंगे. मैकेनिक क्या करेगा? ही विल स्टार्ट ओपनिंग दी बाइक. वो उसको जो है खोलना शुरू करेगा. पता लगा कि उसके विंटर के कारण आपका जो है इग्निशन सिस्टम में प्रॉब्लम है, स्पार्किंग की प्रॉब्लम स्लो हो गई है जिससे उसका स्टार्ट नहीं हो रहा है। तो पहले तो उसने खोल के उस प्रॉब्लम को पॉइंट आउट किया, अब उसको वो असेंबल करके पूरा बाइक देगा। जब वो उसको होल पूरी बाइक को देखते हुए एक एक पॉइंट को चेक करते करते एक पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट पे पहुंचा, डिडक्टिव मीन्स फ्रॉम होल टू दी पार्ट, ठीक है, रिवर्स फ्रॉम इंडक्टिव। लाइक अब राइटिंग में इसको कैसे यूटिलाइज करेंगे, एग्जाम्पल से समझ में आ गया। आप उसको पार्ट पार्ट खोलते चले जा रहे हैं, वो क्या है, डिडक्टिव है।
सर वो तो समझ में आ गया, लेकिन ये साइंटिफिक रिसर्च में कैसे यूज करते हैं?
साइंटिफिक रिसर्च में जैसे सपोज करो यू वांट टू मेक कार्बन नैनो ट्यूब्स, ठीक है,
ओके सर।
सीएनटीज आपको बनाना है।
यस सर।
अब आपको एक मटेरियल को ब्रेक करते 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 उसके नैनो पार्टिकल तक जाना है। तो you will start breaking it, breaking it, breaking it, and after adopting a lot many process, you will reach to the conclusion and you will find a very small residual part of nanoparticle. And then you will feel that you are able to, जैसे मान लो ये आपके ग्रेफाइट रॉड्स हैं और इन चीजों के को ब्रेक करते 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 आपने पाया कि कार्बन पार्टिकल, नैनो पार्टिकल तक आप पहुंच गए। आपने क्या मेथड अडॉप्ट किया, डिडक्ट ही तो किया। आपने कोई नया कंपाउंड बनाने
यस
का,
सर।
तो आपने डिडक्ट करते करते करते, अब जैसे मान लो you have asked a very nice question in scientific method, how will we prove? Once I visited, you know, IISc Bangalore. Do you know what is IISc? Anyone? What is IISc Bangalore? Yes,
Sir,
please.
it is Indian Institute of Sciences.
Indian Institute of Science. SC for science. So IISc Bangalore, I visited and I found a scientist from Sweden researching over there. अब बेटे नैनो पार्टिकल में तो फिर भी आपके पास एक पार्टिकल है ना जिसको आप बता रहे हो। अब जैसे मान लो पहले बहुत बड़े बड़े कंप्यूटर होते थे, बिग साइजेस, मॉनिटर छोटा सा होता था। इट्स बिकॉज ऑफ नैनो टेक्नोलॉजी नाउ यू आर हैविंग द स्मॉलर वर्जन एंड मोर पावरफुल वर्जन ऑफ द कंप्यूटर, smaller version of the gadgets with more power. Because of that, वो क्या हुआ, you are getting that big monitors and small UPS or CPUs. और फिर क्या हुआ, CPU का तो साइज घटते 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 कितना छोटा हो गया कि फ्रॉम कंप्यूटर्स यू स्टार्टेड गेटिंग desktop, big computers, you started getting desktop, then laptops, then palm tops, then tablets, then phablets. Clear? You are started getting it at your desired size. And then earlier, the data storage capacity of the computers used to be 1 GB or 64 KB, 1 GB. Then later on, in terabytes, you are having memory capacity computers, isn't it? It's because of, and then very lightweighted and this carrying capacity, all that. It's because of nanotechnology you are mankind can develop from big telephones to go anywhere telephone or to uh, handphones or headphones. Clear? It's because that you are looking for
Yes sir, clear.
Reducing the size of a particular thing. So when you talk of nanotechnology, means reducing the taking the similar work, same powered work, and reducing the size of it. Ultimately, you also find that, and it is helping in medical science as well for लेजर ऑपरेटेड सिस्टम। अब बॉडी को, ह्यूमन बॉडी का लेजर से ऑपरेशन हो जा रहा है, बॉडी पार्ट का, हर जगह चीड़ फाड़ करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ी है। बहुत नॉमिनल तरीके से इतने प्रिसाइज मशीनरी आ गई है कि द पॉइंट वेयर कैंसर इज देयर ओनली देयर कीमोथेरेपी विल बी अप्लाइड, नॉट इन द होल बॉडी, या उसका जो नेबरिंग एरिया है, जो उसका बॉडी का पास्ट का जो इमीडिएट प्लेस है, उसको ऑपरेट करने की जरूरत नहीं है। सो डिडक्टिव लॉजिक इज very very useful But deductive method of writing is like that, that when you start talking, suppose that we have talked about inductive logic and in writing. Let us talk about deductive logic in writing. Now I am developing the same thing in the different method about the COVID situation. Present day mankind is facing a huge problem. The whole academic system of India and all over the world, human life is being haunted. Why it is haunted? Because of the coronavirus disease, which is spread in the year 2019. Now we people are facing the second wave or third wave of the same. This pandemic uh, has not left its brutal cost to the snatching the lives away from human being all across the 7 continents. And then, though today in India we are facing it badly, but it came in India from the countries overseas. They started OCIs of in OCI overseas citizen of India, NRIs non-resident Indians. They started rushing homewards from all neighboring countries and they became corona spreaders. Those who were already suffering severely from this COVID and still traveling, they became super spreaders of the COVID. And then world started facing huge loss of life because of oxygen shortage. People from nobody is left, but people from France, India, America, they had to pay the bigger prices. This takes its origin from our neighboring nation, China. And in China, there is a place, Wuhan. It is expected or it is assumed that COVID is spread out, the outbreak of the COVID takes its origin from virological laboratory of Wuhan, or it is taking its origin from fish market of Wuhan. So that way, one journey you started from the all across the globe and you landed up to China, then to Wuhan, then fish market or virological laboratory. आपको इन सारे डिस्कशन में एक मूवमेंट नजर आ रहा होगा कि आपने पूरे ग्लोब से बात शुरू करी, फिर उसके बाद एशिया की बात करी या कॉन्टिनेंट्स की बात करी, पर्टिकुलरली कॉन्टिनेंट्स में फिर कंट्रीज की बात करी, दैट केम चाइना, एंड लेटर ऑन यू स्टार्टेड डिस्कसिंग अबाउट द सिटी एंड इनसाइड द सिटी you took up the discussion of a particular center, pinpointed center. So this is what deductive method of writing. As you write laboratory experimental reports, that should also be written in this way, because deductive logic is the core method of identifying certain problem and highlighting it and then looking for its solution. As we visit to hospital for medical treatment today, the doctor starts sending you to pathological places, laboratories, and those path labs start investigating according to the suggestions of the doctor certain reports. And after reports and based on the findings, we reach to a particular conclusion that our body is suffering from this problem. Am I clear? And are you able to understand these two methods? Four methods:
Yes, sir.
subjective expression, objective, inductive, and deductive
Yes, sir.
logic. Let
Yes,
us
sir.
move to the other writing styles. Clear? There are certain other methods of writing. and let us talk about that. So there is another method of writing, that is journalistic approach. What is the journalistic approach? Journalistic approach talks of 5W1H. When we talk of that, what, why, who, where, when, and how, 1H. So if your writing is answering, you start new method of writing. Suppose that you again started writing about COVID-19 and the present situation. So you will start from what happened. What are you going to write? Then when did it happen? Where did it happen? Who are the people behind it? And why did it happen? And how did it happen? If your writing is, you are able to answer these 5W1H question, means you are able to draft the journalistic approach of writing. For having a good journalistic approach of writing, your writing should answer these basic questions. Then there is another method of writing, journalistic approach. Are you aware about it? Could you understand it? Please confirm from your side. अगर आपकी राइटिंग में इन सारी चीजों के जवाब दे दिए गए 5W क्वेश्चन के और 1H के, when you are talking about where, when, what, why, who, what, clear? So your writing is journalistic. You have developed a journalistic approach of writing. When you talk about, there is another method of writing, that is chronological method. What do you mean by the chronological method? When you talk of chronological method, chronology means what? Clockwise movement, clockwise movement. When you start facing, in your discussion, the clockwise movement means, see the COVID case again, if you are describing the same and in the clockwise movement, means the oldest reported case of COVID, the time of oldest reporting of COVID means December 19. When did it hit India? So what was reported? COVID. What was this? Coronavirus. December 19. Then where did it, came from? What is the place of origin? And what are the regions behind that? Who were the people behind it? And what was their motive? Why did it happen? Then you will, and how did it spread? If your writing is able, you are able to answer all these questions, you have got another writing style that is known as journalistic approach. Then there comes chronological method. Chronological method time-wise. It started in December there in Wuhan. Then India, it haunted by the March 2019. It hit it. Then it spread all over the globe. And then life became miserable towards the end of 2020, June. Clear? 2021 June also, it was quite difficult to manage. And it's first wave, second wave, third wave. So it took the shape of pandemic. It was declared by World Health Organization as pandemic event. So chronology means clockwise. घड़ी की सुई के हिसाब से आपने लिखना शुरू कर दिया, means you are expert in chronological method. कि कब क्या हुआ यही लिखना है आपको, chronology, clockwise. Even there is one more method that is known as reverse chronological method. पुलिस में कोई घटना घटी, आपने FIR किया, you went for filing an FIR in police. पुलिस को आपने आज रिपोर्ट किया कि on 18th of January 2022 पुलिस ने एफआईआर फर्स्ट इंफॉर्मेशन रिपोर्ट बना ली। अब उसने बताया कि आपने हमको आज रिपोर्ट किया। ये घटना कब की है? 10 जनवरी की है। 10 जनवरी का लीड क्या है? इसके प्रायर बैक में प्रॉब्लम क्या हो रही है, कुछ दिक्कत क्या है? 8 जनवरी, 5 जनवरी या दिसंबर 2021। तो ये रिवर्स क्रोनोलॉजिकल इन्वेस्टिगेशन फिर उस तरह से वो चलाते हैं। दे विल डॉक्यूमेंट इन द क्रोनोलॉजिकल मेथड। आज हमने ये किया, कल ये किया, परसों ये किया। इट इज क्रोनोलॉजिकल, बट देयर इन्वेस्टिगेशन विल, दे विल स्टार्ट इन्वेस्टिगेशन। सीआईडी में देखते हैं, सीआईडी सीरियल देखा है आपने? It is mostly developed in the reverse chronological method. That is another way of writing, documenting the facts and material. Then there comes the spatial method. What is spatial method? If you are dealing with the geography, clear space, ये प्रॉब्लम कौन सी जगह पे हुआ? चाइना, फ्रांस, अमेरिका, इंग्लैंड, इंडिया, or Southeast Asia, blah blah blah. If you are dealing with these spaces, the spatial method, so that is another way of writing. So I hope that I could introduce you with a few writing methods. इसमें भी ये समझ आ गया, क्रोनोलॉजिकल, रिवर्स क्रोनोलॉजिकल एंड स्पेटियल?
यस सर।
क्वेश्चन इधर
Yes, sir.
बोलो बेटा, एनी क्वेश्चन? Then again, in mechanics of writing, you will find these points like fog index. Many a time we have a feeling that if we are using high sounding words, bombastic language, highly exaggerated language, figurative language, we are doing justice with, writing. But it's not true. And like the weather in this winter, chilly winter weather, fog is everywhere. And where there is high fog, it is quite difficult for a person to march on, to move, to sail, to set forth. Similarly, if a writing is using very difficult English, difficult jargons, then the fog index will be very, very high. For a good professional writer, it is highly advisable to make his language simple, as the objective of all professional writing is making complex simple. 3 words you must remember: making complex simple. And the next point is telling simple language. Then there is case formula. What is case? Keep it short and simple. Let us, we will be discussing. I would love to stop our talk over here, and we will be, you remind that next time we are going to talk about report documentation or research documentation and report writing, and we will be talking about format and structure in 3 shapes: front matter, main body, and back matter. But today our lecture, I'm stopping at this point. Mechanics of writing. Today we have discussed various writing styles, and for you have a fair introduction in this session towards research report documentation. First introduction we have had of this writing styles, where we begins with my ways or highways, and then we come to the subjective expression, then objective expression, then inductive logic, then deductive logic, then journalistic approach, then chronological method, and then spatial method. Then we move to the what to do. These are the multiple methods you have introduction. Then we talks about keeping fog index low. We talked about making our language very simple. We also talked about what is the case formula, and then after that keeping it short and simple. So, and in next talk, we will be discussing research documentation, format and structure, and we'll be talking about our report writing also. And documentation will be in the key structures, key formats like front matter, main body, and back matter. So it's here. I would love to conclude this lecture. If you have any question, any query, feel free to ask. Over to you, students. Question answer, please, if you have anything. Dear students, if you want to ask anything, feel free to ask. Should we stop the discussion now? I think you are already late to your next class. Anybody?
Yes, sir.
Attendance is recorded.